What's going on, guys? This post here, and I'm still feeling a little under the weather, so let me change the game real quick. I think this is game one anyways. I'm sorry for the unprofessionalism, but I'm still feeling a little under the weather, so if the narration is a little more on the extra lethargic side, then I apologize, but my fever is literally over 100 degrees right now, and that's never fun. And I feel like shit, but you know what? It is what it is. So anyways, like the title says, this is for the DPP, I forget what it's called, but it's like Smog Tour doesn't have DPP OU anymore. So we're gonna play DPP OU tournament. My round one opponent is PD, not too familiar with him. Checked out his profile, a bit of a newer player, so I kinda prepared my teams in advance for that. And I just wanted to build something that was fun, but not like gimmicky fun, like something that was actually viable. So that's basically just kind of what I had in mind to kind of explain that. So anyways, let's just go ahead and get the games in DPP, so no team preview. I'm going to lead Mesprit. He's going to lead a Zelf. Mesprit is literally the middle ground between Azelf and Yuxi. It's pretty neat. And the fact that it can check Gyarados pretty effectively. It's also one of the better anti-Machamp lead mons, which is what makes it pretty cool. Taunt is coming down, that's pretty obvious. So I'm just gonna U-turn, get out of there. If he gets rocks up anyways, then it's whatever, I go to Bronzong anyways. I should be able to live a Fire Blast from this because he probably does not have a Life Orb. Because he showed taunt. Usually the Life Orb ones don't have taunt because they're trying to hit things. So I got Bronzong in there, go for Gyro Ball, set up Trick Room, take out that Azelf. All he does is get rocks up, so it did its job, but it's not the end of the world. I'm gonna go Nidoqueen now. These commonly carry fire moves. Mine does not. Mine is Toxic Spikes, EQ, Super Fang, Protect. Now before you go say that it's a shit set, I openly acknowledge that. But this is what happens when you don't really build in DPP. I think the last time I built a DPP team was 2014. So just my knowledge of what's shit and what isn't shit is kind of rusty. EQ is kind of mandatory in Nidoqueen, and then I wanted to use Super Fang Protect. Just because like Protect can help whittle things down with Toxic Spikes, and then Super Fang is nice. To wear things down for my end game, which is to hopefully sweep with either Lucario or Mix Knight. Well, not sweep with it, but pick things off with extreme speed easier because they've been weakened by Super Fang. So anyways, back to the match. He has Gyarados, I go for Super Fang, he DDs up. I believe, did he DD up? Or, I don't even remember what he did. Hold on, let me pause that, I literally just had this game. Yeah, so I go for Super Fang, he actually, yeah, he's, I go to Mesprit right there, so he goes to Tar. Maybe he knew that my Mesprit was going to come back in, who knows, so he didn't DD up. But, so he went Tar. I take the opportunity to get rocks up. I don't think that he's going to have Starmie as one of his last two. I think that he's going to have Heatran and then something else to try and support Scizor. Speaking of a problem, however, he has Gengar. And like I just mentioned earlier about my Nidoqueen set, how it's kind of shit, I let Gengar set it for free. I did not expect him to bring Gengar. Usually newer players, they bring like the Clefable stall teams or like variations of Obi stall, or those like, I call them the black-white DPP teams, where it's like Lead Zapdos, like Band Flygon, like Mix Nape, or like Band Nape, Breloom, Pashotran, those types of teams. They don't usually, these types of players don't usually bring Gengar, who like go on Smogon, they're competent players, but they're like newish to DPP. Gengar is usually not a mon that's like on their radar. So that not only threw me off a lot, because I was expecting something like, I was expecting Heatran for sure to be one of the last, but I was expecting something like, I don't know, like Heatran, maybe not even Heatran, something like, I don't know. I just did not expect Gengar to be one of the last two. I expected something like Heatran and then maybe like Flygon. Yeah, Flygon. That makes sense, I think. But, so anyways, I just didn't expect Gengar. I know I repeated that like 10 times. But I just did not expect it. So I go to Bronzong. It's the best answer that I have so far. He's going to make the correct play and stall me out of Trick Room turns and keep stalling me down with the substitute, and then he can just pain split back up. But there's not really anything that I can do. I'm also stalling myself out of Gyro Balls. And once I run out of Gyro Ball, then I actually can't hit this Gengar anyways. That's why Sub Gar is very good. Sub Disable Gar is another very good one, because then he would wall me otherwise, and we would have ourselves quite a problem. I'm just gonna boom right here because I figure he's gonna switch, and I figure that Scizor is going to be the switch. And Scizor is a mon that also troubles me because, like I mentioned, my Nidoqueen does not have the fire move. So I just wanted to boom on that and get as much damage on the Scizor as possible to soften it up for later in the game, because my really only way of dealing with that is through Fire Blast on my Dragonite. So I just boom right there, he goes and reveals a Magnezone. However, I'm fine with that. I'm just gonna go Nidoqueen and try and deal with that with EQ, and then if he wants to go with something like Gyarados, then I'll be fine. If he wants to go Scizor, it could be a little iffy, but I think I'll be alright. So like I mentioned, I don't have Roar. Someone PM'd me and was like, fam, why didn't you go for Roar? It's like, I don't have it. I'm sorry, this is not a professional Nidoqueen. If I want to use this team again, I have to revise this Nidoqueen set. So I thought a little bit about this move right here because I'm trying to think. Like, I know all his mons now. I still have 3 unrevealed, so I have that to my advantage, but I'm in a real tough spot because he has that Gengar, which is a problem. He has the Scizor, which is a problem. Because, like I said, outside of Dragonite, I don't really have too much to deal with it. And if he's, like, offensive, then the best case scenario is, like, my Lucario and that Scizor trades. Well, not the best case scenario, but that's what could probably happen, and then I kind of lose if I lose Lucario. He has the Gyarados, which just died because I hacked him. And then that allows me to keep my Starmie very healthy. And now that makes the game 3-3. So, the game's coming to an end. Got Starmie and 2 unrevealeds, which, like I mentioned, are Lucario and Mixknight. Which, by the way, this is also shit. I did not think to prepare for Gengar at all. It should have Bullet Punch. There's no reason for it to not have Bullet Punch when I have E-Speed Mixknight. And yeah, Scizor, Gengar, and Tyranitar. Like I mentioned, Scizor, if I'm not careful, can beat me, and Gengar, if I'm not careful, can beat me. Him actually booming on my Nidoqueen earlier was really helpful because he couldn't go to Gengar and he couldn't pain split off on me. Because if he just kept Nidoqueen healthy, he could have gone to Gengar and potentially pain split up on me. Of course, I didn't reveal to him that I had Protect, so I didn't reveal to him that his Gengar could not touch me yet, but my Nidoqueen could not touch him. So, it's not really a 50-50 scenario in my mind, because in my mind, if he goes for Pursuit, I lose the game, and then I can just go to Lucario and try and play my odds there. Hope he chokes, goes to Gengar. If he goes to Scizor, which he should, then CC will just take him out from there. And then it all comes basically down to Focus Miss, and then if he locks into EQ, then I can just go Dragonite, and then go for Fire Blast, and then either win the game or lose the game. It all depends on hacks. If he crunches and I stay in, then I lose no matter what. If I switch out and he pursues, I lose no matter what. So it is a 50-50, but in my mind, I'm kind of thinking that he isn't going to pursue because I have those 2 unrevealed. That's why I say it's not a 50-50, because if I was in his situation, I wouldn't pursue either. If I was in this situation, I had something like Fire Punch, then I would have gone for that. Or maybe like double the Scizor. I don't really know, because there's a real high probability, because my team's like Mesprit, Nidoqueen, that I have like bulky Scizor as one of my last 2. I don't, but it is an idea. I thought about it, but I just went with Lucario because I'm bad. Sorry guys. But that's basically kind of where we're at right now. So like I said, I'm just gonna switch. He is not going to go for Pursuit, which is gonna be good for me. I'm just gonna go ahead and go to Lucario. So that means the game is not over yet, but it makes the game a lot easier for me to potentially come back and win. I still have this Scarf Tar here to deal with. It's still a problem, but this makes it a lot easier. Because if I got that prediction wrong, I pretty much lost the game. And I'm not out of the woods yet. He does go to Gengar, however. I'm not sure why. Maybe he thought I had BP. If that was the case, that he just thought I had BP, then that's fine. But I don't feel like you sat Gengar right there on that type of assumption. Of course, I make bad plays like that all the time, so I'm not really one to talk, but I just don't think that was the play. So I go for CC, just gotta hope that he doesn't go for superpower right here. Well, not even necessarily hope, because my Starmie has a pretty decent chance to win the game from this point. Either Starmie or he goes for Crunch, takes me out, and then Dragonite will win. But if he goes for superpower right there, then that just makes the game that much more tough. Go for a couple of CCs, he decides to go for Roost, hoping that he can stall me out, but that is not the case. And I'm able to take out the Scizor. And he's just going to go to Tyranitar right here. And I can just kind of chip him down and see what move he wants to lock himself into. He has the poison whittling him down. He locks in the Crunch. That means that my last mount, which is Dragonite, can come in, go for the Earthquake, and take out the Tyranitar. So just going to go to Dragonite right now. It's pretty much formalities at this point. And that should be the game. It is best of 3, so I'm going to show you guys the following games after this. I'm just going to do it all in one video. But just to kind of sum up this game, I did not prepare well for this at all. I should have definitely prepared better for Gengar. Like, number 1, that Nidoqueen set's gotta go. Earthquake Super Fang Protect is not the set. I've come to realize I gotta do something about that. And then I think I have to run Bullet Punch my Lucario. With E-Speed on Dragonite, there's not really a reason not to. I think Bullet Punch is, especially with this Gengar issue that I've discovered, Bullet Punch is definitely the answer. Of course, that's why you test your teams before you bring them to the tournament, instead of doing what I'm doing. And just building teams, like, I built all these teams back in Hyper Smog Tour, and they were not, I fucked up Smog Tour, bro. Like, because I completely forgot about it. Like, I put all this work into preparing for it, and I completely forgot about it. So I was on that notebook, because I'd made all these teams at like school/work. I was on that notebook grind. You feel me? And I just pulled them out of there. Like, these teams had no testing behind them. I know you guys don't care about that, but I'm just explaining why I did not test my teams like a dummy. So, anyways, that's gonna be that game. If I want to go back and use that team again, I think it's pretty fun, but I definitely have to make some revisions. The ones I mentioned. So anyways, here's game 2, and again, no team preview, so we're just going to go ahead and get it in. That's Fortress, I'm lead Fortress, he is lead Hippowdon. This is the best case scenario that I could have asked for. Fortress, it's a so-so lead. On this particular team though, there's really no better spot for it, because I don't really have a solid lead, so Fortress was kind of like the best thing that I could do. Hippowdon, however, is one of the that's, like I said, that's the best case scenario. I can get spikes down on it for free. I can potentially spin. Of course, there's a ghost, so spin for free is in quotation marks, but I do have to pay back to hit those ghost types. So, like I said, I was licking my chops when I saw the lead Hippowdon. He's gonna go for some roars right there, scout my team out, get some rocks damage on some things. He does, however, find the Gyarados. I highly doubt he stays in, or if he does stay in, it's going to be to Roar. Since he has shown Roar, then I know that he doesn't have any type of coverage move like a Stone Edge or an Ice Fang, which he really shouldn't anyways on lead Hippowdon. Well, on lead Hippowdon, you can argue that Ice Fang is good for lead Mix Knight, but besides that, not really too much else. And definitely no reason to run the Rock move on Hippowdon in the lead slot, or really ever in DPP, but it is something that you see sometimes for Gyarados. So I'm just going to Waterfall, no reason for me to set up, because I want to see what his Gyarados answer is. It's going to be Bulky Rotom. Hippowdon Rotom is starting to indicate stall, but it could be some, like, some type of balance. So I'm not going to rule the verdict out yet. I'm just going to try and wait and find more information about his team. He's going to show me Starmie right here. Starmie doesn't really tell you anything, because Starmie can literally fit on any play style. Especially since he shows Leftovers right here. Now, I see Leftovers, so my protocol is going to be to go to Rotom. If I didn't see Leftovers, then I assume Life Orb. And my protocol is to stay in, and I'm Pasho-Tran, so usually they don't go for the Rapid Spin right away, because the Ghost type is pretty obvious in this type of build, like Fortran plus a Ghost. Pretty standard core. So they almost always go for Hydro right there, so I stay in, take the Hydro because of the Pasho Berry, and then I can go for the HP Grass follow-up and bring Starmie down to within Life Orb range, or go for the Explosion. So I'm going to go to Rotom. He is actually offensive Starmie with Leftovers. That's why you don't run that set, because my Rotom can live. I'm gonna go to Breloom, predicting a Tar to come in, or even something like a Scizor that I can put to sleep. Something along those lines. He does go to Roserade. He types how in the chat. I just explained how I predicted Tar or Scizor. One of those two, fortunately, I can't stay in. That's a really bad matchup for me. I'm gonna go to Heatran. I just want to find out more about the Roserade, since he's probably gonna go for the HP Fire, HP Ice, whatever his coverage move to hit Grass types is. So he's actually gonna reveal Spikes and reveal some more information about himself and his set. This is going really fast or slow. I'm not really explaining my thoughts too in depth. Predict Starmie to come back in and not clock him with the HP Grass, so that's cool. So now my hazards are here to stay. Got Rocks and 2 layers of Spikes down. Feeling pretty jive right now. He goes to Rotom for some reason, and we already identified what this Rotom set was. So I could just go for the Fire Blast and take him out. I think maybe, I still don't even know, because I wall him. If I'm Spidef, I wall him, so I don't get it. But anyways, I go for Explosion right here. I'm gonna have to pause this, because we're starting to get to the nitty gritty of the game. So we saw Roserade earlier. Hippowdon, Rotom, Starmie, Roserade. This is looking like a standard case of stall. So he has 2 unrevealed left. One of them 100% is Heatran. If he does not have Heatran as one of his last 2, I would shoot myself in the foot right there, because there's no way you can build that team and not have a Heatran on it. His last, however, is a little more dicey. And my heart of hearts, I thought it was Scarftar, which is why I make this explosion play, because I honestly thought that his last was Scarftar. However, it could be something like SD Scizor, like bulkier SD Scizor. It could also be something like Wish-C and Brachi. But again, in my heart of hearts, I thought it was Scarftar. And this is why I am notorious for choking, because when I'm confident about something, I just do it. Sometimes I just don't think about all the possibilities, which is also why I'm notorious for playing slow as shit, because I gotta take that time to slow myself down and say, well, hold on, what could really go wrong right here? But I didn't do that this time, and it could come back to bite me in the ass if his last isn't Scarftar. But at this point in the game, I'm pretty confident that it is. So that's why I boom, because if his team is Hippowdon, Roserade, like Heatran and Scarftar, then my Heatran set being that low and being Tashotran is not going to be relevant. So I just boom on there. Figure it's my best thing to do. I don't think HP Grass does that much more. Probably should have gone for it anyways, because if I get a crit on it, or even Fire Blast does more. I should have gone for Fire Blast, and then, because he's probably going to slack off right there. He doesn't slack off, however, he goes for Earthquake, so it's not the worst thing in the world. I go for a Spore, predicting Roserade to come back in. He decides to stay in with his Hippowdon. That's fine by me. He is going to stay asleep, and I believe I just Seed Bomb, because if he wakes up and goes for Roars, I go for... Actually, it doesn't even work that way. I think Focus Punch goes off before Roar, so... Why didn't I go for Focus Punch? I don't know. I'm sub-Punch Breloom, by the way. So, yeah, that's kind of how I'm going to play this. He goes for... I go for Seed Bomb. He goes to Roserade. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that... This is what I'm rusty about, dude. I gotta practice more, alright? I literally... It's like if you're a professional, I guess, tennis player, for example. That's just the first thing that comes to my mind. You don't play tennis for like 3 years, and then you just hop right back into the US Open. Like, not that I'm comparing this tournament. This is like a small off tournament to the US Open, but it's like the same type of thing. Like, why am I doing that? So, he's gonna rest up right here. I go to Rotom as fodder, but he does decide to rest up. And I'm gonna take that opportunity to trick, and then try and get the Rapid Spin off. Like I said, I was playing on the assumption that he was Heatran and Scarftar's his last 2, but even if he's not, I don't think that he's gonna have a Ghost, because he already has the Rotom, and that Rotom's already down. So this should be a pretty free Rapid Spin right here for Fortress. I have no lefties because I'm Shed Shell, by the way. And I'm Shed Shell because Rapid Spinning for Gyarados is pretty cool. Pretty necessary, actually. So, like I said, that is just going to be the play that I make. That is going to be the Rapid Spin play. He's going to show Jirachi right here, and I really wasn't expecting that. So again, I was kind of thrown a little off that he showed the Jirachi. And in DPP, if somebody shows you something that you don't expect, especially if you've planned things really far out based on assumptions, that can make the game pretty difficult to handle. or not difficult to handle, but just kind of difficult to game plan. And Jirachi's a real X factor, not only because of how good it is, but if it comes in late game, it has so many sets that it can just be difficult to deal with. So I'm going to go to Rotom right here. Rotom at this point at 9% is fodder, no reason for me to keep it around. He shows Wish. He could either be Wish CM, which would really work with his team, or the Wish Protect set with like Body Slam, Iron Head, Wish, the flinch set. That's what it's more universally known as, I guess. I get a crit Shadow Ball on the Roserade. It's unfortunate. It doesn't really matter too much, I don't think, because yeah, he would have just killed me and then I would have gone. Oh no, I don't know actually, because like you only get 50% back from the Wish, so like I do how much, like 40% to him or whatever. He gets a little bit more than that back, and then my last is Raikou, so I don't know actually. I don't know. He misses Hydro Pump, doesn't really matter too much. He gets Roar, I get roared out to Fortress. And I'm just going to decide to stay in because now I know the entire team and I know what the Jirachi set is, so there's not really a reason for me to keep Fortress around because I don't have Earthquake. If I had Earthquake, then I definitely would have kept it around, but I do not, so there is no reason for me to. In hindsight, I maybe could have kept it around just because, well, not really, because I think Rotom is more useful than that, so I'm just going to go for Waterfall, take down the Hippowdon, and now all he has left is the Jirachi and the Heatran. I have lots of hazards down. So things are looking pretty good for me. This endgame, I'm going to botch up a lot though, so I'm going to go for the taunt to prevent him from doing any Wish shenanigans. At this point, I stand by this play as opposed to going to Rotom because we don't know the entire set. Yeah, all he's showing us is Wish. So he could, for all we know, be Wish CM, and if he's Wish CM, then I very well wow, I can't speak. I very well may lose. This is why I regret blowing up with Heatran, to be honest. I should have just gone to Breloom right there. And if he slacked off or something, then it's whatever. Like, I really don't know why I didn't go to Breloom, because saving Heatran would have been nice. So, that's a mistake by me. I taunted him, like I said, not predicting him, but in case he was wishing him. He is going to show Body Slam, however, and I was simultaneously relieved but annoyed because this could be really dangerous. Now here, I'm going to botch this game a little bit and go to Raikou. He's obviously going to go for the Iron Head right here. And it's not going to Raikou that's bad, but I should have gone and pulled it back to Rotom after that. Gone to Rotom, been immune to the Body Slam, and just fired off some Shadow Balls, and then gone to Breloom. Put him to sleep with Spore, and then gone from there. However, what's going to happen is that I'm going to stay in and try to substitute, and he goes for Body Slam. Obviously, that's going to break the sub because it's not a resisted hit. And then I stay in and go for Thunderbolt because I don't want him to gain too much leftovers. Again, this just doesn't make sense. He has Body Slam. I've already kind of forced him into going for the Body Slam play by going to my Raikou. So, even going for sub is fine, just showing them that he can't stay in there and spam moves on me. Even going for the sub there was fine, but not going to Rotom after that was a problem, because now he paralyzes me, he could throw up wishes because the taunt is off, my Gyarados is paralyzed, and now my Raikou is paralyzed. He's going to be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Why can't I remember the word flinch? He's going to be able to flinch me down, and I can't do anything about it, and now this Jirachi is at full health. And I just lost my Raikou for free, so that sucks, because losing him on for free is never good. And this Jirachi is also at full health, and it just makes it a lot tougher to deal with. Fortunately, I still have Breloom, and Breloom is arguably the most busted mon in DPP OU right now, and I'm using it on my team to good service. So, he's going to go to Heatran. I'm going to go for Spore. Spore is very good. Why am I talking like that? But Spore is the good play. He is Wish Tech, so my Breloom should be faster than him. Some of them do run enough speed for Breloom, but either way, it's only the 60% from the flinch, as opposed to the 90%. I think it's about 90% if he was paralyzed, but he can't paralyze me. So I'm gonna go for Focus Punch right there because it will knock out Heatran. He has not slept a turn yet, so my Focus Punch is indeed free. I'm going to go for the Seed Bomb. He actually goes to Protect to try and get him outside of range. I think the Seed Bomb might do just enough. I just don't want to deal with any type of shenanigans. So I go for the seed bomb right here. After the leftovers, he actually can live, and I think he goes for the wish right here. He doesn't try and go for any Iron Head type of stuff. And that seed bomb does 18, so it would have taken him out from there, but after the leftovers, it does not. He goes for the wish. He's obviously going to go for the protect right here, so I am sub punch, so I can just go for the sub right here. His other play, alternatively, I guess, is to just, I don't know. I don't really know what his other play is. If he went for like Iron Head right here or something on my substitute, that would have been raw. But he really can't, because if I just go for Seed Bomb, then I just kill him, and I don't really have any reason to go for Focus Punch right there. I don't think anyways. Because he's either, like I said, he's going to protect or he's going to attack me straight up. So, go for sub right there, get that right. He goes for Iron Head, breaks my sub, but I can fire off the Focus Punch and take out the Jirachi. Now this endgame could get a little iffy because I do have my Rotom. Rotom's faster, but it's not going to clock Heat Train for too much. It just takes some neat little hazard damage though. And I have Gyarados, and now Gyarados is paralyzed, but like if he wakes up right here, this is what I'm talking about. He does not wake up, however, so none of this happens. I'm able to just hit him for the Focus Punch and win the game. Did I forget to remove the thing again? I did. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it there now. I forgot to remove the music again, or the little title. But you know what? It is what it is. So, if he did get that first turn wake right there, went for Lava Plume and destroyed me, there really wasn't a way for me to play around it with my Breloom. But I would have had to go to Gyarados right there more than likely, and then take him out with the Earthquake. Or not the Earthquake, the Waterfall. I don't have Earthquake, actually. I was just thinking that. But if I got paralyzed a bunch, and then my Rotom missed Hydro Pumps, which Hydro Pump doesn't even do that much to special defensive train. I think it's like 40% max, I think. Then things could have got a little iffy, especially since my Rotom is very low, but you know what? None of that happened, and we were able to power through. So I'm able to win the set 2-0 over PD. So GG's 2 PD. I'm on to round 2. We'll see where round 2 takes us. And hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to leave a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Leave a thumbs down if you did not, but at least tell me why. Just like this battle, there's a couple of things in this narration that I probably could have done differently and improved upon, but you know what? We are one take Tonys around here, so we're just going to have to live with it and move on. Hopefully you all enjoyed anyways, and peace.